In Vue.js, have you ever wondered how to place different text inside your component from your parent? Let's talk about slots. That's how you do it. Hey, I just want to let you guys know that Udemy is having a $10 sale. I went ahead and put my favorite Vue.js tutorial below. If you click on it, I actually get a few bucks if you buy it. It's an excellent tutorial by Maximilian, so check it out. Thanks, and let's go ahead and learn about slots. All right, I'm in the app I just created. So I created a brand new app. I did a Vue init webpack my slots example, and it's up and running here. You can see here's just the sample app, this hello component. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit. I'm going to delete everything out of it, and I'm going to leave the rest here. I'm going to go ahead and delete the image. You can see I just have welcome to your Vue.js app. And you can see here's the main app view, and I have hello here. So let's say we want to put a message inside this hello app. So if we just write something inside here, hello, and we save it, we see nothing's happening here. Like the message is not showing up, which is kind of what we expected. It's not going to show up inside here. So how do we get message to show up in here from the parent component? Well, if you watch my last video on components in Vue.js, you know that we have something called props. So we could do something like this. We could, let's create a data component here. We'll create something called data. And inside that data, we're going to return an object. We're going to call it message, and it's going to be hello world. And then we're going to go back to the hello here, and we're going to call it, I don't know, message. And that's going to equal message. We're going to save it, and then inside here we're going to have to tell it that we have props. So we have to clearly define every single property that's passed in, and we'll call it message. And then inside the message here, let's do an h2 tag. We can then have this message. So here's the hello world passed in from the parent. So if we change this to from parent, you can see it changes to from parent. So we know that the parent, the app.vue, is passing it to the component. Well, what happens if we didn't want to use this way of doing this, and that we had like multiple lines of information in here, and we wanted to pass it in, and we didn't want to put it into like a variable like this? So let's go ahead and delete this message out. And we'll just delete this for now. And like I said, so if we put a message in here, hello world, it's not going to show up. So what we can do inside our component here, this is the child component. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete out the props. Delete this out. Is we can add something called a slot. And what this does is that the slot, you can see it says hello world here. We'll make it an h2. And what this says right here, this hello world, is that we're going to take the information from the parent, what's ever in between here, in between the opening and closing of our component, and we're going to add it into the slot right here. So that works great. So, but what happens if we have multiple pieces of information? So let's go back here and we say, hello, this is Erik part 2. And now you can see we have two different messages. But what happens if we want to do something a little bit more complicated? That now we have, let's see here, this is, here we have child 1, we'll have a break, child 2, and I'll have a break message. And we can see here it's in between, but what happens if we want the second line to be below it? So we can do something like this. So not to get confused, I'm going to keep the styling of it right here. So I'm going to make this the style. I'm going to put an h2 tag here for this hello world. h2 here. And then I'm going to have an h3 tag for this one. h3. Oops. All right, so we have our we'll do this so it makes a little more sense. Parent line 1, parent line 2. So we have the child, then the parent lines that we passed in. But we can do this, we can put names for them. So we can put name equals, or we'll put slot equals, and then we have the slot name. And Vue.js knows slot is a reserved word. It's not an HTML attribute. So we can put in, this is line 1, and we can put in h slot equals line 2. And you can see nothing shows up now, it's gone. So if we go back to the hello view, we can have name slots. So we go name equals line 1, and then we can have another slot named line 2. So then we can move it below here. So now we could see we can move around from our parent from this line 1 and line 2. Now we can have slot the line 1 show up here right after child 1, and the second line show up right here. All right, so that's how we do that there. There's one other thing called scoped. Slots, which I will get into the next video. But for now, this is the basics of how to use slots inside your components. If you like these type of videos, please click that subscribe button, and also definitely click that bell button. And let me know what you like in the comments below, what you think of this. Thanks, take care.